So for the circle theme today, we're going to have a go at doing some embroidery stitches, either filling in the inside of a circle, which I've just traced around here with my marker. So either filling that with clusters of stitches inside the shape, as I did with this flower here. So you could look at French knots, lazy daisies, and straight stitches this one has got, or how I did with this leaf shape, I just filled it in with seed stitches. The other option is filling in the negative space. So rather than inside the circle, we can fill in around it, as I did with this side here with the leaf, and how I'd done with this R shape here, letter, filling it in with just all French knots. So you can really mix it up and try a few different stitches, or you could fill the whole thing with just either seeds or French knots. What I just pulled out here is the A to Z of stitches when we've done that before. So lots of stitches here you could always have a go with that would lend themselves to filling in on the circular shape. You could add in some of these sort of woven flower shapes, would look really nice filling inside the circles, and they're circular themselves. Perhaps also a darning stitch could work nice, filled it nicely in a space. You could couch your way around the outside, as we did on the last session there. And then we've got things like fern stitches, often work nicely, or feather stitches there as well. So we have got the A to Z file of all the different stitches on canvas, so you can look through there and have a look. There's things like even just doing satin stitches. So if you didn't want to have one whole big circle, you could have lots of little ones all filled in with a different stitch. So a smaller one would fill in really nicely with a satin stitch, perhaps. If you didn't want to have either one big circle or little ones sort of scattered about, you could always sort of draw over and intersect a few sort of circular shapes as well and fill in those spaces with stitches too. But what I'm just going to start here with is, because last week I just touched on, when I was doing the couching here, I started to fill in the outside negative space there with seed stitches. What I'll start for this one here, for this week, is I'll start filling in this shape as well. And you can, if you wanted to, do a line around your shape, how I outline this with running stitches. Or what can look really effective is, rather than having a solid outline of a stitch, just work your stitches right up to the border of whatever shape it is. So here with the flowers, it's sort of the edge of the petal of this flower. I only got sort of half a flower with the lazy daisies there, or half some of the straight stitches. So there's not a definite sort of outline edge. The stitches are just sort of clustered up to that point. So I've just simply been doing this time some straight stitches to fill in these sort of star shapes to start with. I've still got some more of that circle to fill in there. With this sort of dark beige to the background of the calico there, what I'm going to just do in the meantime is fill in with some French knots between these gaps as well, just to give it that density within the circle. So I've just done a little bit more here, so it's really subtle here with some French knots around these straight stitches. So I'll fill it in so that this circle is sort of really densely, solidly filled in, similar to the flower I showed at the start there. So I may add in some, maybe another blue, just to, if there are any spaces, maybe even some seed stitches. So that's our starting piece there for some embroidery for the circle theme.